800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. And thankfully, the patient James is standing by in Fort Worth. James, WBAP.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
I lost you for a second.
It was because I took you too early. I was hanging with you, but I'm like, wait, hold on 1 second for me. Go ahead.
I was in the construction business. I got family in the construction business, and here's the take that I get from, and these are
by all means. Mm-hmm.
These are Hispanic people, and here's what they're saying. I said, look here, Dave. The thing is, when you hire these people, he said, what I can't do, one of them said, what I can't do, I can't go out there and bid these jobs like I used to bid. I can't get the money that I used to get because these people have developed to the point they own some of the biggest construction companies in the state.
Illegals.
They're going out here, Roger. Correct. They're going out here and underbid, and I was listening to him because he's the whole group of these people are Hispanic. I said, look, when I go out to bid a job, and I bid it for the American way of living, I'm competing against groups of people who are living 10 and 15 to a house. And he said, I know that all of them don't do it, but a lot of them do it, Dave. I'm competing against them. Mm-hmm. He said, I can't make a living like that. He said, that's why a lot of construction companies have closed up. He said, when you get people that you call and they show out at your house and there's only one person that speaks English in the whole group of people, please don't hire them to do your job because you're undercutting somebody like me that needs the money as bad or worse than they do. So that's where it would hurt, Chris, our economy, because they own so much. They work in our fast food. They own restaurants. And a lot of them, the haircutting industry, I've gone into several of them, and they only take cash. Well, see, I won't do business with you.
Right.
If you're taking cash only, like, and off the Fuel City, you go in there, the people out there selling the stuff, they take cash only. Now, see, I'm not going to buy you stuff.
Right. Good.
You're not paying taxes. But that's how it would hurt us, Chris, in the long run.
Let me tell you, kind of counter that from what I have in front of me. Because it's not just about the people you're speaking of. And I'm not knocking you or disagreeing with you, or I'm not even going to get into your situation. I'm glad, but I'm certainly allowing you to say it and not going to mess with it. So I'll leave it unchallenged and not agree with it. But let's go to this next point. This is from the Wall Street Journal as well. The effects of the illegal immigration invasion under Joe and Kamala. 23% of Joe Biden and Kamala's illegals do not have high school diplomas. A quarter of them don't even have high school diplomas, compared to just 10% of the adult population. So they're almost 2.5 times less high school diplomas than our people. That is, and I wrote here as I read, I write notes, and I wrote slave class. This is the slave class I've spoken of. They're importing the liberal Democrats, etc. Second of all, the inflow of desperate foreign graduates, because some of these are foreign graduates, is helping keep the salaries of United States college graduates or high school graduates stuck at 2008 levels. That is, do the math. That's 16 years behind what the pay should be. That's what illegals are doing. Now it gets worse.
Exactly what I'm saying.
The illegal migrants compete with, quote, existing workers with less education. These are the African American and Hispanic populations, of which much higher chunks. Last time I saw stats, including recently, is this affects disproportionately Black and Hispanic Americans, legal citizens. The illegal migrants compete with existing workers with less education, and they put downward pressure on their wages. That is, and then hold on. The Journal said the surge in immigration could weigh slightly on overall wages and productivity. So then I wrote, not their slave class. Now I wrote, we become the slave class too. Sorry, I'm young, but this is the truth. We are becoming slaves.
Absolutely.
We are freaking becoming slaves under this administration. I put my name in there too.
I hope I ain't interrupting you, but man, I tell you what, it just makes my blood boil because they are bringing down the wages. I don't know at what year they are, but I know when I was in construction and we were, let's just say, decking a roof, that was one of the last things that we hung on to. We couldn't no longer put the rock up because they come in and took that away. We couldn't hang the doors and swing them for $30 a door anymore because they come in after we taught them how to do it, and they were doing it for $10 a door. Same thing with the decking. When they come pulling on it was a huge construction site. We were doing houses in Las Colinas. They come driving up. I told my brother, I said, dude.
They came driving up and were soliciting people's houses?
Yeah, no, they came up. There was a construction site.
They already had the job when they came up.
Yeah, they came driving up in the trucks, several of them in the trucks, and I said, brother, we will never deck another house here because they're going to undercut us to the point we can't afford to get out of the truck. We're not going to get $91 then. That was it then. We're not going to get $91 a linear foot anymore. I guarantee you that's not going to happen, man. A board foot for framing houses. It's not there, and that's what my family is saying. We can't afford to go out and bid these jobs, and he's trying to figure out other ways to earn income because there's so many of them coming in here right now.
Everybody needs to hear this. And so Kamala and Joe, in 4 years, have made us more of us, our black people, our Hispanic people, and our white people, including us, you and me, slaves.
Right.
We
Chris,
become
you
slaves.
Remember, dude, when I was a young man, the black people would come out. They had the construction jobs and things like that. You get the black men and their sons had these companies.
You know what I love? I do my own stuff at my new house, but I found out there is a black family that does landscaping, and I'm like, I mean, they're obviously not illegals, and I'm like, I want to hire them. It was so, it blessed me so much to see an African-American family having a business where it's so dominated by illegals. It made me so happy, and all I want to do is patronize them. I don't care what their politics are. I want to hire Americans to work on my home.
And I pay more.
Yeah.
I will pay, seriously, Chris.
Yes.
I will pay an American
Yes, I
more
will.
money to do, just like coming to Kroger's. I'll pay them a little more money because I know they got union representation. I get all that. I'll pay more to come here to a nice, clean store and purchase stuff from them. But I will, and I have done it. And my wife don't quite understand that. But I said, look here, love. Them men are trying to earn a living at an American wage. They're not living 27 people to a house. They're not eating bean, egg, and potatoes for lunch rolled up in a flour tortilla that they're making themselves. Chris, dude, I really think that we are in trouble with. And I hope I don't make you mad, brother.
You are an absolutely gold call today. No caller usually gets to spend a whole segment, but you're that good. You are literally telling us what's happening on the freaking ground on the streets of Dallas-Fort Worth. Go ahead.
Chris, when I was in Afghanistan, we would pull across the Simpernet, pull stuff off the Simpernet to secure that.
Simpernet, so you served in the military. What you were?
Roger, I was in Afghanistan.
What did you do in Afghanistan?
I was combat arms.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for your service. Hey, listen, thank you. Thank you. Hey, so you're like Tim Walz. You served in war.
Yeah.
Did you see combat in Italy like Tim Walz did?
I've seen it all over the world.
You saw combat in Italy like Tim Walz?
I tailed along behind him. Yes.
So you were behind him. He was the leader. You were covering his flank. I got you. I feel you.
I can vouch for him. But here's the thing that just really infuriates people like us. But here's, because I got a head injury. I mean, they took portions of my brain out and put plates in my dadgum head.
I can tell. That's a joke. That's a joke.
They did.
Was that in Afghanistan?
Roger. Yeah, they took.
Oh, God bless you.
Out of my right brain lobe. But anyway, they said
you lost your right brain lobe thanks to you serving for us.
A large section of that. Correct, Roger.
God bless you.
Here's the deal. And then
so you didn't die like Joe Biden's son did in combat. But you got injured. Okay, go ahead.
Right, but here.
Oh, by the way, hold on. No. Tim Walz. Did you get a Purple Heart like Tim Walz? He just got a Purple Heart today. It's on my Twitter feed. He got a Purple Heart today. He was in a car crash and he earned a Purple Heart through that. Go ahead.
Like Gore. But here's the thing.
Kamala's going to give him the Flying Cross medal, whatever it is. Go ahead.
I really fear this woman winning in the way, and I'm really kind of perturbed at Trump. I love him to death. But listen, I would not have picked a middle-aged white man. You have two qualified black. Tim Scott was the one I was praying for.
He should have been not the lead. Not the lead, the vice president. Yeah. Yeah.
My God. Yeah. I know. And I wish that Vance would say, you know what? Out of dignity and respect, I'm not as qualified as Scott or Dr. Carson. I'm going to step aside.
Or Dr. Jill.
Or Dr. Jill.
Reach across the aisle and get not a Dr. Jill. I call her Nurse Jill or not a Dr. Jill. Get her in there. Bipartisanship. Joe, you're answering all the questions. You answered all the questions. All right, I got to roll. Thank you. Let me put you on hold. I want to get your email. Stand by. Get his email for me.